right, 9:40, everybody. And when our next guest isn't busy running from dinosaurs or collaborating with legends like Spike Lee, she is starring in the riveting new series. It's called 3 Women. Here's a look.
Let me tell your story, who you are.
You really think you know?
Yes, yes. You like to be open. You don't like to be tied down. You like to be desired from a lot of different directions.
But it's kind of... I like being loved by Lily and Will, I think.
Yeah, you love being loved.
Which is different than being possessed. You know, I hate that.
I know.
You know, growing up, it was like my mom wanted to control every aspect, every ounce of me.
So playing the character of Sloane is actress DeWanda Wise. So thanks so much for being here with us this morning. Great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
So 3 Women. Tell the folks at home who aren't familiar with it what it's all about.
3 Women. So our author, Lisa Taddeo, took essentially a 10-year road trip, which is crazy to me. But she took a 10-year road trip, essentially like going into the heart of America and interviewing all these women about the nature of female desire. So our TV series is kind of a fictionalized version of that nonfiction book.
Yeah, what drew you in?
Say it again?
What drew you in to want to play?
I love Sloane.
Yeah.
Like, she's just one of those characters who you're just like, ooh, I don't, you know, you seek to understand, you know, and I like to think that I am that mysterious. I'm not. I'm not that mysterious. But she's just so intriguing.
Yeah.
You know, she's so interesting to me.
Were you familiar with the book
Oh,
before?
big time. Such a reader.
So you were in love with it already?
Yes, immediately. Like my TV agent, he called me and he was like, have you read this book? And I was like, who has not read this book? You know? So yeah, it was an honor. It was really cool. I hit it off with Lisa immediately. You know, our first meeting. It was like we were in, I think it was 2021, and the first thing I said to her was like, I have 0 capacity for people who have been through nothing. And she was like, me too. And then we're like, here's my entire life story.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So for those who are not familiar with the book, right, or the story, how does Sloane kind of fit into the narrative?
So Sloane is our polyamory storyline. You know, she is relatively ravenous sexually, but also in every other facet of her life. Like, she's just an ambitious person. You know, she runs her own event planning company. You know, she's just like a boss in every way and insatiable in her home life, in her family life, sexually, like just in every sense.
That's what she's figuring out in that clip that we just showed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which person she wants to be with or what she likes about both of them.
Yeah.
So perhaps this is like for women that are watching, they're like, okay, she's who I want to be.
She's very aspirational. You know, my hope, my nerdy actor hope was that people would meet her and think like, oh my goodness, I want to be that. You know, like you see on Instagram or whatever, on like TikTok. And then as the show progresses and you peel away the layers, you're like, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I don't want to be that.
It sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not.
This was actually supposed to be released years ago, right? Because you shot it years ago.
Correct.
So when we said it was years in the making, it was quite literally years in the making. So what was the timeline?
The timeline, I mean, it was 3 years ago. We started this in October of 2021, which is wild to me.
Wow.
But that's like the nature of Hollywood at the moment. It's just like everything, like I had 3 things come out this year, and all of them filmed at like various intervals in my life. I mean, it's tough.
And there was a strike in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
right?
there's a strike in the middle of it, which was part of it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to release it without actors to promote it. So it is that weird thing where you're like, who was Sloane? I don't remember
Look back to her.
who she was.
You worked with a great cast, though.
Fantastic cast.
Blair Underwood's in with you?
Extraordinary. Blair Underwood is like, if to any actor who's not worked with him yet, you want to.
Okay.
Trust me.
Why is that?
He is just like down in every way. Like often when you are, I haven't talked about this actually, often when you're trying to cast a male lead to a female lead, there'll be like a weird undercurrent, you know what I mean? There'll just be like a subtle something. He is one of the most supportive, like will be by your side, and especially when you're filming something that's so deeply intimate, you have to be on each other's side. You know what I mean? You have to be like on the same page creatively and like how you work, and it was just like that from day one.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because it's an intimacy thing too, right?
Yes, safety.
Right. Well, yeah. Right. There you go.
Yeah, and chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Not intimacy. Chemistry was the word I was looking for.
He's
Yeah.
easy.
Wow,
He's easy on the eyes too. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
You know, even though you live in California now, you're no stranger to New York. For those who don't know, you went to NYU's Tisch School of the Arts.
Yes, yes.
So is it a homecoming every time you come on back when you do things like?
Every time. Every time I come back to New York, my ownership of the city and my like wherewithal, it's like automatically, we were talking about this earlier, but my pace, like it clicks right back in.
You're walking faster?
I'm walking faster. I'm like helping tourists.
It's like muscle memory.
It's muscle memory, big time.
And it's
Every
almost
single time.
Halloween, and you remember your time in the city during Halloween.
I do. I'm so excited for New York. Enjoy that warm weather, okay?
Weather.
Enjoy it.
I know.
Okay, let's talk about, I mean, you're not going to dress up for Halloween. We already talked about that in the commercial. But role play, like what would be the role that you would want to play one day on the big screen?
One of the roles that I want to play, besides Storm, everyone knows about Storm.
Yes.
I'm not going to talk about Storm anymore, y'all. I know y'all sick of me talking about Storm. Another role I want to play very badly. How have I not played a vampire? Don't I look like a vampire to you?
Oh.
I'm you that.
Really, you to be a beautiful vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, but look at these eyes. I need to play a vampire.
The eyes, yes.
Like all I need is this thing, but like
Okay.
otherwise.
That's all you need for that's a cheap costume for Halloween.
That's a very
all you
cheap.
gotta get is
It's
the
a
two.
very cheap costume.
Yeah.
You're right. It's my fault.
That's it.
You're right. I'm in my own way.
All right.
You're correct. I need
There
to
you
do
go.
But what is it about Storm?
that. I mean, Storm is
I
like.
hate to bring it up.
I feel like the first time I saw Logan, right? The first time I saw Hugh Jackman in Logan,
Yeah.
I just thought to myself, this is what Storm deserves. Like, this is what that character deserves.
Yeah.
She is the most powerful and compelling of the X-Men characters. And, you know, she's brought beautifully to life by two different actresses at this point.
Right.
Like, Halle Berry smashed it.
Yes.
Alexandra smashed it, you know, but she deserves her own standalone story. It's like so 101 to me and everybody else, apparently.
Well, there you go. DeWanda, always great to have you here. Come on back, okay?
Absolutely.
Move back to New York.
Thanks for making the road trip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Great
yes.
to see you.
Yes.
Likewise.
All right, and 3 Women airs on Fridays on Stars. Go check it out.